What's going on, guys? Welcome to the range. Today we are going to be looking at the CZ75 Shadow 2 Compact versus the CZ75 P01 Omega, my very own carry gun from back in the day. When I was really big into CZs, this was the CZ that I chose to carry. So when CZ released the Shadow 2 Compact, I was thinking to myself, like, what's the point of taking your super awesome competition gun and then taking away all the things that make it awesome? And in the instance of the Shadow 2 down to the Compact, you're taking the steel frame away for a, short gripped aluminum frame that is a little bit thicker at the top of the slide than the P01. They're roughly the same. The slide's a little bit chunkier on the Shadow 2. Adding an optics cut, which is awesome because, to my knowledge, they don't have a P01 with an optics cut. So rather than just, doing the sensible thing and providing a P01 with an optics cut and a firing pin block, they rebadged it as a Shadow 2. It commands a premium price point. So I'm going to see if I can notice anything different about this gun. I know a lot of you guys are probably going to be upset by this because a lot of you really, really love the Shadow 2 Compact. And it is an awesome gun. It shoots really well to be as little as it is. But, I mean, I guess the point is, but why? But first, I can sense there are some dads in the audience. Let me reward you with this. Why did the chicken go to the gym? He was working on his pecs. Let's see how this thing does in slow motion. Okay, it's the Shadow 2 Compact, jumps a little bit. Feels almost exactly the same. Now we're just going to shoot around and see how it handles AAC 124, which is effectively like NATO loads. We'll do double action just to see how it is. So we'll start on that steel plate. Okay, not too bad. All right. All right, not so bad. Got to decock it manually. Oh, I've got an adjustable height rear, which doesn't make sense in a carry context because you could jack your sights. For carry, you don't want adjustable sights, you want fixed sights. But I noticed when I hit it, I made the sights move around. So you could potentially, from a spec perspective, deal with that with fixed sights if you wanted. All right. Okay. Okay, the red is a little bit dominating right there, pulling my eye to it. I've got a green fiber on my carry gun, so the accuracy's better. I'm not going to DQ that one. I honestly feel like the P01, and I can't really tell you why. Maybe it's the grips. I feel like the P01 with the spicy ammo shoots a little bit nicer as far as spreading it out in my hand. I can't really, I don't know. So far, I'm not seeing a big difference. Now I've got the Buffalo Creek 115s. These are incredibly soft shooting rounds. So we'll try and shoot around and see if there's any big difference detected when the ammo is super soft. Okay, just duffed one hit on steel. Had a double tap on steel that was pretty impressive. Decocking manually, because that's what it takes. All right, we'll do the same run. I mean, because of the different slide stops, the old 75 slide stop versus this Shadow 2 style slide stop, I prefer the old style on the P01. It doesn't dig into my thumb when I'm getting on the side of the frame quite as much. I feel like I can get a better weld with my support hand. Whoa. Again, the red fiber, not as nice for me as the green fiber. It felt better, the difference was not as noticeable with the lighter ammo. Like, they feel pretty much the same as far as shooting is concerned. In theory, the Shadow 2 has a way better trigger. Let's just test it out with some accuracy. I guess at this point, I really like the trigger on the single action shape of the trigger on the Omega. This is a gun that I feel like more people should know about and mess with, but nobody seems to care. Anyway. Real quickly, if you think you're subscribed to the channel, please just go ahead and verify it. YouTube's been weird recently unsubscribing people, and if you think the notification bell is wrong, just check, because they've been unringing that too. It's weird, you're not supposed to be able to unring a bell, but here we are. Also, a quick thank you to my Patreon and local supporters. You guys are awesome and make stuff like this possible. And a big thank you to the gentleman gunner who is graciously lending me his Shadow 2 compact, so I didn't have to go buy it. All right, we're just at 15 yards, and I suck at shooting irons. So we're going to do head box shots at 15 yards and see if there's any difference in accuracy. This will be the part of the video that gets sped up in editing because it's so boring to shoot groups. All right, 10-shot group there. It looks like, based on where it's hitting on the berm, that rear sight is going to need adjusting, because I think it was printing high at 15 yards, so I'm going to have to walk it down a little bit. Whereas I've got fixed sights on the P01, so let's see what this does. All right, let's go look at those. This is the P01 Omega. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's good. That's a good size group for irons at 15 yards for me anyway. That's roughly a palm size group, which is what standard I try and keep. So the Shadow 2 had a little bit, more centered sights, roughly a palm size group. You can see that the propensity to kind of stack holes, that might be a slightly better trigger that's keeping the gun steadier through the trigger pull. Let's do it again with double action. All right, same drill as before, but this time only double action shots. Let's see if there is a difference here. This is amusing because people will argue the double action is better on the Shadow 2, but like a lot of the people in the CZ communities convert the guns to be single action only, so the double action doesn't matter anyway. Let's see what's gonna happen. Ooh, that one was low left. That one went high. That was low left. I need to drift the rear sight, I think. But let's see how we do with the CZ Shadow 2 compact. The CZ Shadow 2 compact is going to get the benefit of me remembering how to pull a double action trigger. All right, let's go look at that. This is the Shadow 2 compact at 15 yards. It's actually a pretty good group double action, pulling it slightly right. I can tell you right now, I definitely duffed one. That's not from the double action there. That's from me earlier. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I definitely threw one with the P01. So that the group's not wildly different if you consider that the Shadow 2 compact got the benefit of me remembering how to pull double action triggers. So pretty similar despite very different trigger mechanisms. What did we learn here today? In theory, the Shadow 2 compact is supposed to have advantages that the P01 doesn't. What I observed to be true is that there aren't really any advantages that this gun has that this one doesn't. The advantages of the enhanced checkering that is supposed to plant it and make it more stable at speed, I didn't really observe that to be the case. In fact, it felt pretty much identical to the P01 Omega that I have here. And the round counts are probably similar. I don't know what this one is anymore. It's probably about 1,500 rounds or so. My buddy Paul on the Gentleman Gunner channel said that he put this through a review. It's probably about 1,000 rounds on this guy. So probably similar round counts. This is a 2017 manufacture. This is a 2024 manufacture, so 7 years of advancements in machining. Let's use a car analogy and just say, like, if we were to take a Honda Civic, that's not saying this is a Honda Civic relative to other guns, it's just a car everybody knows. If we were to take a Honda Civic and then swap out all of the upholstery on the seats, like maybe slightly more, sporty feeling seats, and, put some colors in the trim and stuff like that, then it's got digital displays, and like, now it's a race car. And it's like, well, it's pretty much exactly the same as the old Honda Civic without the fancy displays. Now, being optic ready is a huge advantage, but these guns are selling for $1,200 to $1,400. I don't even know what these sell for anymore. I'll put it, whatever it says on the screen is what I'm finding it for. But getting one of these cut for an optic takes time and money to do, but I'm willing to bet that getting one of these cut still keeps you underneath the price of this new. That's where we're left with it, is I just don't really understand why this was the choice that the people at CZ made when they're like, we haven't released a new model in a while, so let's release a Shadow 2 compact. Rather than update the 75 platform for, you know, the red dot era, or create a tactical sport that could be used in USPSA limited optics division. It's just introducing a new slide with an optics cut. There's like 1,000 things. Make the P10C, modernize it. Everybody's done a Gen 2 of their polymer striker guns, except for the P10. This was the direction that they chose to go, and I don't understand it. It's a cool gun. If you don't have a P01 already, and you like the Shadow 2 stuff, get a Shadow 2. It'll fit better in your Shadow 2 holster. But at the same time, this fits in a Shadow 2 holster. It's a little loose, but it fits. And I don't get it, guys. So that's where I open it up to you guys. Like, give me the reason, other than just making money and selling guns, like what did this fill in the CZ lineup to where they thought about introducing an all new gun? So let me know in the comments, guys. I appreciate you, and I hope you aren't too angry at me for not loving on this thing. So if you want to check out the original first shots video from TriggerCon 2024, you can see that video here.